Do you want to learn how to do that? Hi Yoga Dancers, I'm really happy to welcome you on my YouTube channel to show you today how to flutter. If you want to learn how to do this movement called the flutter, which is a diaphragm contraction and release that is super fast. If you want to learn about the diaphragm's anatomy, how your diaphragm is attached to the rib cage, and how to perform that movement with or without breath, so with apnea or with breath, stick around. I'm going to tell you my secrets about this. I got the question a few weeks ago on my social media, on Instagram, and I do a lot of breath work and how to integrate movement, whether it's yoga or dance, with how to breathe. And this is very important as a performer and also for your everyday life. And just coming back to the body and to the present moment. When I breathe, I come back right here and right now. Whether I teach a beginner class or an advanced class, I always start from the breath because this is the departure point. In the dance world where I come from, Middle Eastern dance, we use Flutter to create effects to impress our audience, really move the belly in different ways. And through all my discoveries, through yoga and combining it with dance, it really informed me how I can work on it. To me, flutters are easier if I work with apnea, so without air. There's a few ways of breathing or not breathing through your flutter. And the first technique that I find is the most efficient visually and also in terms of sensation is by not breathing. So when you build that type of flutter, you first have to not breathe and create resistance with that idea. The next point, once you have practiced how to do this, so in order to not breathe and try and do this the longest possible, in order to have a long flutter practice, I inhale. I contract the perineum, so Mula Bandha or pelvic floor. Exhale. Exhale second time. And with no air, I open the rib cage. So the result of this is that you're stretching your diaphragm. Your diaphragm is actually like a medusa, or if you think of it as a mushroom, a jellyfish. So it's a 3D shape. It's not flat as we tend to imagine, it's 3D. And it's attached between here, you can go all the way around the rib cage and the bottom ribs also. And so when you're inhaling, you're contracting the diaphragm. The fibers get short and it pulls the lungs down. It's like accordion, the instrument where you're pulling the air inside of the thoracic cavity. And then you exhale and the air comes out and you relax your diaphragm. So when you're doing flutter and when you're working with that effect, you're actually contracting and releasing super fast the diaphragm. So let's try and do this with apnea. So we take the previous exercise and we add so actually this is what's happening inside and this is how it looks outside. I keep my belly nice and soft. So let's try. Inhale. Exhale. Exhale second time. Make sure perineum is there. So inside it's like like a little ball, a little tennis ball or a ping pong ball is bouncing up and down. I really keep my rectus abdominis super soft, and also the transverse and the obliques, everything is soft, and really the work comes from the diaphragm, so it's finding that sensation inside. When you work with apnea, I discovered on stage, like if I want this to be very visible, the more I hollow at the beginning, the more the easiest it gets. But it's very difficult if you're, for me, it has always been difficult to do in the middle of a performance that's super extravagant physical. So I guess you have to anticipate that and also prepare yourself for apnea in the middle of effort, which is complicated. And usually because I used to create those pieces that were physically demanding at my level, it was always more difficult to do those kind of flutters. But it was the only way that it was going to be visible, so without air. All right, let's move on to the second form where you can, hold on, just before I say this, you notice one thing, it's that I tilt slightly forward, so you can practice standing, but if you tilt forward, you will use the gravity, and it's actually easier. So I would say that this is easier than this. Let's just try. Inhale, tilt forward, perineum, stretch the diaphragm, open in 3D. Woo. If you want level 3, 4, you start adding other motions. So undulation, here I wasn't able to see the flutter, so I just need to practice again, and we can do that in another drill. Let me move on to the next phase in the next video. So we've just seen how to do the flutter with no air, and you can also do the flutter with palier in French, so like a staircase. So you would inhale, have no air for a little bit, inhale, have no air, inhale, and hold by small increments, little by little. That way you may have more endurance, but I feel that because you don't hollow the ribs at the beginning, it's more difficult to see. But you can do it for a longer time. So to me, that's my experience with it, and that's the choice I would do, would be more quick flutter with strong visual impact rather than doing it for a long time. But if you're going to dance for a while and you decide that you want to integrate it with more movement and you need to keep going for a few minutes this way, I really highly recommend you keep breathing. Voilà. Alors, inhale. Exhale. Oh, and sorry. You can do the same thing on the way up as you inhale little by little, and on the way down also, and you exhale. So hold your breath, exhale. Hold your breath, exhale. Hold your breath, exhale. Hold your breath. What we've seen earlier was don't inhale at all. So exhale, keep it, and then you flutter from there. But here you get to breathe little by little. All right. Inhale, exhale. It's difficult to find. I haven't practiced in a long time, but that's the principle. You noticed at the beginning I went, I did I think 4 inhales. So first I set up, the very first thing I did is I set up my flutter without air, so with apnea, and then little by little I inhaled in four increments, sorry, and then I went on the exhale again by 4 steps, and then it started shifting, and I inhaled once and I exhaled once, and I had apnea, so it's as if you were doing inhale, apnea, exhale, apnea. So you do square breath instead of having that shape, boom, 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 boom. Okay, let's try again. Okay, inhale, exhale, set up the flutter, inhale. I can't speak and do it at the same time. Okay, so you hollow each time that you go on the apnea. This is when you pull and open the rib cage, and for me it's easier to really have them separate. All right, there's a third way of doing this, that's panting. So you make more noise. So of course, if you're in a tight space, close to people, not so nice. You might also find that you hyperventilate if you do it this way, but you can try. Let's try. So it's like and same. So this time I allow the breath to go through my mouth. First time it was through the nose and mouth, but then there was no breath. So each time it's like breathing super fast. So it's more like I'm. Let me re-experiment before I confirm what I'm going to say. But I think I'm going to still go up by increments and still go down by increments, but super extra mega fast, and not have the apnea phase. So on the way up, inhale, exhale. Okay, hold on, let me find this again. So frankly, it's very noisy. It's okay, it's not a problem, but I don't think it's super efficient visually, and I mean, it doesn't matter, it's okay. If you just need a small flutter and you need to be breathing for a while, then you can use that technique. But it will look smaller, as you can see. Voila. I think I've shared everything I know for now about Flutter and what I've explored so far. Sorry, my camera's here. Eyes down. I hope you've enjoyed it and you've learned something new today, and I will see you in the next one. Make sure to join me in the breathwork chapter on the online school. I have many more breathing exercises, and I'll be posting more things on Instagram where you can join me. Voila, later on I'll do a YouTube channel and all that. And if you have any questions, write them below in the comments, and you can also join the Anasma Yoga Dance Air community group on Facebook, where I answer in priority, and also to my students who participate on the online school. So see you soon. Make sure to save and practice, and let me know your progress, and share it with someone who needs it. See you later. Can you keep your face relaxed as you do all this? I I really hope you learned something today. Please let me know in the comments below what is your takeaway. Also, if you want to go more in depth with that topic about breath work, you can go on my school.yogadanceair.com. I will also put the link in the description below. And make sure that you hit the subscribe button, that you give it a like, that you share it with somebody who needs it, and let me know if you have any question of anything you want me to tackle in my next YouTube videos. I have a Facebook Yoga Dancer community where I collect those topics and questions. Sometimes we do lives out there, and it would be really lovely to meet you and connect on a more regular basis and exchange our practices. The online school is brand new and I have an offer right now. If you join my mailing list, which also will have the link down here, then you can get 20% off for the first 6 months of registration. So, see you soon. Thanks again and see you for the next one.